Hey, check this out. The next time you're cutting, decking or floorboards with your miter saw and you want to get a really tight, schmick looking butt joint, try this. Place a thin shim under the board close to the blade and cut. This produces a slight undercut or back cut, which means that when the boards meet, the top sides only will butt together, leaving you with a beautiful, seamless finish. G'day folks, Uncle Knackers here with a quick follow-up to my previous 2 miter saw videos with 5 more awesome miter saw tips that I know you're going to love. And make sure you stick around for the last couple, as they are absolute game changers. What am I talking about? They're all game changers. Let's do it. Now, as we all know, there are times when you need to measure a length of architrave or trim of some description using the inside edge of a mitered cut, which can be really tricky as you can't lock your tape measure onto the edge and pull it out to make your measurement. Now, a really easy solution to that predicament using your miter saw is to place the workpiece on the saw and then line the inside corner up to the edge of the kerf plate groove, and then just simply hook your tape over the edge and away you go. Now, I love this next tip. Whenever you need to cut a board that is slightly wider than the cutting capacity of your saw, then this simple trick can allow you to saw through boards that are technically too wide for your miter saw. All you need to do is to place a sacrificial board on top of the base plate and then place your board on top of that. So basically what you are doing is raising the wood up to the wider section of the blade instead of the narrow section of the blade, which is relatively narrow, and that will increase the cutting capacity of the saw. So with your board on top of the piece of scrap, just go ahead and make the cut as you normally would. Just quickly, today's video is brought to you by me. Yep, correct. Me. Hands up if you have a little bit of fear and trepidation when it comes to using the miter saw. I don't blame you. It's noisy, it has a blade that spins very quickly, and it also has these very sharp teeth that can do a lot of damage in the blink of an eye, which is why I created the much needed and requested Miter Saw for Beginners Masterclass. Okay, so what's included in the Masterclass? You get 6 information-packed teaching modules, including 6 instructional videos, 6 text-based lessons, along with a list of valuable tools and resources, as well as a free miter saw-based woodworking project. You'll get access to the exclusive members-only Facebook group, as well as access to 10% off all of my Etsy woodworking plans. And I'll even throw in a 10% discount to my very popular Circular Saw for Beginners Masterclass, which is also jam-packed full of useful information and resources. And seriously, if I had a spare set of steak knives, I'd throw these in as well. So let's get you started. Conquer your fear and learn how to use the miter saw safely and more efficiently by clicking on the link down below in the description box. You'll be glad you did. Oh yeah, and don't forget to add coupon code MITERSAW10 to get a further 10% off an already ridiculously low price. It's an absolute no-brainer. I look forward to seeing you over in the masterclass. Alrighty, back to the tips. Now this next tip is an absolute little ripper. It's that one piece of workshop equipment that once made, you'll never know how you lived without it. One of the most annoying things with the miter saw is not having support on either side of the saw when cutting long pieces of wood. It's not only difficult to do, but is also very dangerous, which is why I've built myself a set of detachable, portable outfeed wings. Now what I love about these outfeed wings is that they offer the ideal platform for cutting long and short pieces of wood without having to build an actual designated miter saw station. It makes cutting wood so much easier and takes away the anxiety of having to catch the piece from falling after you've cut it. Now in my opinion, after having used these on numerous projects, they offer the perfect solution to improve the build quality of your project and provide the additional benefit of a safer workspace, which in my book is a priceless addition. And as an extra bonus, you can add a stop block to the fence for those pesky repeated cuts. Oh yeah, one more thing that I love is that once your project has been completed, the outfeed wings can be simply removed and stored away neatly with the miter saw, leaving the top of your workbench clear for other activities. So if you haven't got the space, time or budget to make an actual fully fledged miter saw station, do yourself a massive favour and make yourself a set of these. And if you're interested, I'll leave a link to the plans down below. Now on the topic of using stop blocks for repeated cuts, I've got two really good tips that I think you're going to love. If you're feeling a bit fancy and you know how to use a router, you can rebait some T-track into the face of that fence with a stop block attached, or if you're lazy, just like me, you can go ahead and make yourself a budget friendly one, just like this one here, which by the way is an absolute little cracker. It's made from scrap plywood with a slot cut carefully down from the top to accommodate an S-style clamp, which fits snugly into that groove, and then you can tighten it off. Now what I love about this is that when you move the clamp, the block moves with it, just like that. Now this makes adjustments very easy and keeps everything in its place. Now this little system here is a great addition to the outfeed wings. Now one thing to be aware of with a stop block is that when making repeated cuts, there's a chance of sawdust building up against the block, which can then affect the length of your cut. So to stop that from happening, cut a small 45-degree angle on the bottom of the block so that sawdust won't get trapped between the block and the workpiece. Hey, since we're talking about tools and stuff, how's this? The other day I was out buying a brand new saw and I just thought I'd quickly pop into the pub for a sneaky one on the way home. Anyway, I go in, order a beer, about to take my first sip, and out of nowhere I hear this voice that said, "Hey mate, nice shirt." I look around, nobody there. So I shrug it off, and then straight away, same voice, "Hey mate, nice boots." Again, look around, nobody there. So I said to the barman, "What's the go with all these strange voices?" The barman smiles, points down toward the bowl of nuts in front of me and says, "It's the nuts. They're complimentary." Complimentary nuts. Classic. Still on the topic of stop blocks, as most of us know, they are the perfect solution for achieving multiple cuts all at the same length. And to mark the position of the stop block, most people simply measure back from the blade and away you go, which is fine, but there is a method that my uncle taught me when I was an apprentice, way back in the day of black and white TV, which is by far the best I've seen as far as accuracy goes. Using a scrap piece of timber, clamp it to the saw and then drop a cut into it without going all the way through. Now you know exactly where the curve of your blade is cutting, so then just simply go ahead, hook your tape over the cut, run out your tape to your desired measurement, clamp the stop block in place, and you're good to go. Those old blokes, they sure knew what they were talking about.